Oh man, why do I look so fat? Hi guys, welcome to my first video ever, my first YouTube video, and welcome to my channel. My name is Avery, and you can call me Jay because that is what most people call me, mostly because they can't pronounce Avery. But anyway, for this first video, I'm going to talk about my own Ielts experience and how I personally feel about it. It's not scandalous or anything, but yeah. So let's get on to it. Roll the clip. So for the first part of the video, I'm going to talk about how I prepared for my Ielts exam. To be honest with you, I didn't actually do much because I personally don't really have anything, like have any documents to read or to write or all that. But a few months before I took the Ielts, I took it in December, so it was around like June or maybe May, I don't know. I took a class with one of my professors in university. He has a English institution a tutor institution for those Ielts. Yeah, sorry, that was Vietnamese. So I took a course with him. It lasted like 2 or 3 months, and then I stopped because the course ran out. And I didn't actually do anything for the rest of the months until the time I actually took the exam. For the most part, I mostly just indulge in my favorite pastimes, like watching YouTube, watching movies, and all that crap. But so what I meant about preparation is mostly because I believe that no matter how good you are, no matter how academically intelligent, or how intellectual you are, it is always better to just sign up for a class. Because as much as I hate to say it, Ielts is more about the structure more than about fluency, as opposed to what they promoted. Just take the class, it won't hurt you much, and besides you get to know how to fill out the answers, how to prepare. Like, the format of the exam is really important. So when it came close to December, I downloaded a complication of Band 9 writing samples. Mostly I just read them, skim through them, and then just to familiarize myself with how they actually work again and how to actually write. But because it's hard, and honestly only my brain would know whether it works or not in the exam room, so I'm not sure it really helped much, but a little preparation is better than none. So, and now for my own personal Ielts exam, like personal Ielts experience. So I took my Ielts exam at the British Council on December 20th. Yeah, I remember that exactly because it was Teachers' Day, Vietnamese Teachers' Day. So it was at British Council, the Viettel building at District 3, because that's where they all hold the exam now for BC. And unless you take your exam at IDP, I think that's in District 2 or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, so I signed up for the computer form of exam, the computer form of Ielts, because that's mostly, instead of just writing on paper, you're going to do your work on computer. So I set up my own schedule, and so the writing, listening, and reading, they were all in the morning. So it started at 9. I had to be there at like 8 or 8 to 7. Yeah, I had to be there by 8. So I got into the exam at 9. And personally, I thought it was pretty hard, honestly. So the entire exam with 3 skills, it lasts for like 3 hours, and from 9 to 12. So for listening, I thought it was quite challenging, but it's not like the type that would make me cry in the exams. Like, it happened a lot. And the reading though, they're a bit long and a bit complicated somehow, but they're not excruciatingly hard. No. Like you can tell this is actually an academic exam instead of just a general one. Like, you know, the general IELTS and the academic IELTS. I don't actually know the differences. I haven't actually taken the general one yet. So, but yeah, that's mostly just it. The listening and reading was pretty like medium, intermediate level to me. But the writing though, oh my god, I severely underestimate the time I need to spend on those writing tasks. Like, you know, writing tasks has like 2 tasks. Yeah. So the first task, it was about like 6 different age groups attending all sorts of concerts, like pop concerts, opera concerts, and whatnot. So they're like listing them out, and they were asking just, you know, like the regular question in task 1. So I didn't think it would take me long, and somehow I got very immersed in that, and unknowingly it was 25 minutes left. I know, right? So, but that's one. I don't even know whether I did well enough or did as well as I hoped. So task 1 I spent like 35 minutes on, and then task 2 it took me like 25 minutes. A lot of rushing though, you know that. So the whole computer thing makes it a lot easier to rush, because I can just, like, you know, pound on the keyboard. And yeah, so because of the time problem, I didn't get to do much on the writing tasks. Yeah. So I'm not sure I did as well as I hoped, and I did score the lowest in writing, in among like listening, reading, writing, and speaking. I did score the lowest. It was at 7.5. I know it's high, but it's still. And anyway, so the speaking. So I finished around 12, and I had lunch. At the local GS25. Yeah, GS5. I think it was GS25. Okay, it's a convenience store. So I had lunch there, and I waited for like around 3 hours or so for the speaking exam, because when you take the computer form exam, you can actually choose your own speaking exam time slot. It doesn't work like that when you take it on paper, but yeah, so that there's the huge difference. It was like one-on-one, of course, in a very isolated room. It is kind of scary. Yeah. So the room is quite small, and the judge or the examiner, I don't know. The examiner is British. He was okay, I suppose. And so we talked, like I showed him my identification card, and he asked what my name is, like usual procedures. And when it comes to task 2, which is the most important part, my task 2 was the toy. Talk about the toy you really enjoyed playing as a child, with, you know, hints or like prompts such as, what is that toy, who did you get it from, and why do you love it so much? It's kind of like that. So I prepared for 1 minute, and I talked for around a minute 50 or 55, I don't really remember, but I know I didn't surpass the limited time, so I know I didn't surpass that, so it's fine. And I honestly don't really know whether I did good or not. Speaking is kind of like something that is very unpredictable, you know? I can talk like this in front of a camera, I can talk like this in front of a native speaker, but I'm not sure what I can do when it comes to being in an exam room. Sometimes I get nervous, and this is a really serious problem, because sometimes I just stutter and nothing comes out of my mouth that actually makes sense. So it's really hard sometimes, because there are some days where when I'm not as good as the others, I go into the exam room feeling very unconfident, and so yeah, it is what it is. I try to make efforts to fix it, but yeah. And so that is basically my whole IELTS exam experience. So yeah, this is my face when I remember that I haven't actually mentioned each skills, like what score did I get for each skills. So listening 8.5, reading 9, writing 7.5, and speaking 8. So the overall score is 8.5. I'm very pleased with my score. I mean, it is quite high, 8.5 in overalls. I'm very pleased, even if I sound very, not. So that is basically what my IELTS exam is like. This practically concludes my video, because for the first video I just want to talk about my IELTS experience, and I can leave some tips, but it's not much because I'm not the type of English learner that pulls out a book, pores over a type of grammar, and then memorize it. No, I don't do that. How I learn English is quite a journey, but that can be discussed in another video. For some tips for listening, I can recommend you some TV shows and movies. That's basically what I do. But sometimes when I don't have time, a little spare time for myself, I watch a lot of vlogs. And most of the part, I only watch vlogs by students who go abroad to study. Like sometimes I would watch vlogs by students in Harvard or in Cambridge or in Canada. I don't know. YouTube algorithm is pretty random, so they recommend me something, I find it interesting, I watch. And for reading, you can actually go on newspaper's website, I think. So Business Insider is a publishing company that I used to work unofficially for around a few months. I translated a few articles for them. I sometimes visited the site and I saw a lot of useful information, and they don't actually use a lot of complicated phrasings and vocabulary, so I think that actually works. Because for reading, you have to actually read every single day. Sometimes I read fics, but those are like fanfics, and fanfics are definitely written by normal people, so that they are the best way, I think, to ensure you are fluent. Because what's most important about a language is that you know how to use it in real life, and what's better to do that than, read and watch and listen how people actually talk in real life. So yeah, so that's for listening, that's for reading and writing. Though I don't actually have much of practice with writing in general. Like sometimes when I get the mood to practice, I would compose a bit of a short story for my friend or for myself to read. What I can say about writing is that you're gonna make a lot of mistakes and you don't even know it. You only know it when in the future you read back, because essentially you'll get better. My personal motto is you'll never be the best, but you'll get better. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident that everyone has the ability to get better, and when they actually look back on their writing assignments a few years ago, they actually see where they have gone wrong or what they could do to change and make it better. I mean, it's not like a one-time done deal. You have to make a lot of mistakes in order to learn from it, and it's a trial and error over and over again, probably to the rest of your life. But that's the good thing about learning. You can always get better. So, and what else? Speaking, my method of practicing speaking is very common, honestly. I talk to myself a lot, and most people around me actually know that. But whenever I say that helps me learn English, they look at me like I'm a weirdo. But speaking in English to yourself, it does actually help a lot. And besides, you have to actually think in English too in order to get better. Just, when you're going on your daily life, you can be like, oh, that's a cute shirt, or she's cute and all that. Just try to use English as much as possible. That's the only way to increase your fluency. And it's not like it works like in a flash for me either. It took me like years and years. So that's pretty much my IELTS experience, and I have given you some tips. This concludes my first video. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you guys enjoy it a lot, you can leave a like or subscribe. I would really appreciate that. So peace, and see you guys next time.